guys, welcome to another video for this week, and today we will learn about roots of quadratic equation. Now, talking about roots, these are the points that intersect the x-axis. So the only time that the graph intersects the x-axis is when y would be equal to 0, and then we will need to solve or to extract the roots. So the first thing that we will need to do to extract the roots is, first we will need to set y is equal to 0, and then we could either use the quadratic formula, which is this, or quadratic formula. Let's write that, quadratic formula, or we could use factoring to get the roots of the equation. And after that, we can get a particular parabola, either two roots or a singular root, one root. So if your parabola is like this, for example, so this parabola has only one root. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to solve this one. So the first step is set y is equal to 0. So let's have this as 0 is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, or we can reverse this one. So x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. After this, we can get the root of the quadratic equation, or roots of the quadratic equation, using factoring. So we will try to factor this. So this is a trinomial, so we will factor this one using this method. This is trial and error method. So we have x and x, which makes x squared, and we have 1, and the factor of 1 is 1 times 1, and both are plus, so plus equal to 0. So let's try x times x squared, x times 1, x, 1 times x, which is 2x, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So this is correct. The next thing that you will need to do is to separate this. So this is x plus 1 is equal to 0, and this is the first root. Okay? So the first factor is your first root, and the second factor is your second root. So x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then we will need to move 1 onto the other side, so it would become negative. So you have x is equal to negative 1, and this one is also equal to x is equal to negative 1. So the roots of this particular quadratic equation is lies in this particular point. So negative 1, and then y is equal to 0. We already set y as 0. So the roots are located in negative 1, 0. Okay, so that's it. That's how you will find the root. And this, we actually obtain the root of this particular equation using factoring. How about we will use the quadratic equation? So using the quadratic equation or formula is just really easy. Okay, so what you will need to do is you will need to set y is equal to 0. So this would become x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then the next thing that you will need to do is to find the a, b, and c of this equation. So the standard form of quadratic equation is ax. Let's use the small letter a. So ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So a is equal to 1. So kanang a mo ni number nga tapad ni x. Alright? Kanang a. Si b mo tapad x squared, I mean. Ang a mo number nga tapad ni x squared. Ang b is the number that is beside x. So which number is beside x? That is 2. And c mo ni last nga number nga walay pares, which is equal to 1. So you have a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to 1. And then we will go ahead and use this. So let's try x is equal to, then negative b, that means negative 2, okay, which is b, plus and minus square root of, then b squared, which is 2 squared, minus 4 times, which is a, which number is a? 1. And then c, which is 1, over 2 times 1. Now, let us solve. X is equal to negative 2 plus and minus square root, and then we will simplify the inner terms of the square root. So we have 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times 1 times 1, which is 4, over 2 times 1. X is equal to negative 2 plus and minus, and this is plus and minus square root of, this is 0. And we all know square root of 0 is 0. Okay, over 2. And then, negative 2 over 2 is equal to negative 1. So that is, we have the same answer here. Okay, so x is equal to negative 1, and then y is equal to 0. So this is the root of that particular equation. You can try this one out in your paper. Let's go ahead and check if you have understood how we would get the roots of quadratic equations. If you have more questions, just ask me. Just send me a message on Facebook, or if I will come by the office, please ask me on more details about this particular topic. And that is our lesson for today. Thank you so much for watching. Always be awesome, guys, and be a math hero. Goodbye.